Good morning. So the first thing I'm going to sort of get into is it's the classic thing that I always do. It's the clamshell type of shot. So as you can see, I use a softbox on the bottom and I use an octabox on the top. This gives me the ability, instead of using a reflector on the bottom, to be able to increase the power or decrease the power at the bottom as I wish. If I was just using a reflector, I just have to make sure that the angle is correct to bounce it back in. So this is, for me, this is the best way. So I always use this. I always use it with, I use a really small cheap light. I use an MX300 from Godox, and on the top there I use a Godox DP. Is it an 800? Yeah, it's an 800 today. I use an 800 or 1000 or sometimes a 600. So that's my first setup, and you can see from this angle the octabox at the top is slightly leaning forward so that it's falling onto the model's face, but it's definitely not falling onto the background. So we're keeping, this light is not going onto the background at all. Okay, so one of the things that I want to show you now is that we've got this studio light at the top there. That's going to be set to f14. That's the key light. This one at the bottom is going to be set to f5.6. It's just a little bit of a fill-in. Now, one of the things that we always get a problem with when we're talking about the studio is that the camera, as you can see, my studio, it's a beautiful, well-lit studio. We've got lots and lots of natural light, and one of the things that we always get asked is, can you black the light out? There's absolutely no need to do that, and I want to show you why. So if you remember, the top one was set at f14, the bottom light was set at f5.6. So without using any flash whatsoever, what I'm going to show you is, I'm going to take a picture there. As you can see, it is focused on the chair and the little board at the back. We've not got a model here at the minute. So I'm going to take a picture at those settings, and as you can see, that screen, can you see it that way? That screen is completely black. All you can see is the reflection of me videoing that. So there is absolutely no need. I'll flick that up on the screen now, that picture we took, it's just a black screen. There's no need to worry about all that light, because when you take a picture at f14 at 1/160th of a second, there is no natural light going to get onto the sensor. So let's get that myth out of the way. So we're going to be shooting at 1/60th of a second, f14. The bottom light there is going to be set to f5.6, and the top light is going to be set at f14. That is a DP 800, and the bottom one is a really cheap light, an MS300. The next lighting setup, it's really, really easy. It's as simple as this. All we've got is we've got the Godox light there set to f14, and we've just got nothing below. So all we're doing is we're just using top light, and we're still not going to put any light up onto the background. It's just going to be onto the model only. As you can see, the light is pointing a little bit more towards the model, so we get a little bit more light falling onto the model. We've not got an incredible amount of light falling onto the background still, but we'll do that in a second when we alter the light. Okay, so this time the light is pointing almost directly towards the model. The top of the light there, the top of the light here, this part of the light is literally feathering off towards the background. So the top of that light, if you drew a straight line from the top of that light towards the background, it's about 9 inches above the model's head. We've got no light at the bottom, and we're just going to stick with that one light. This time the light is pointing, it's 3/4 away. It's sort of, if the model's sitting there, that light is about at 2 o'clock on the clock. It's sort of a 45-degree angle, it's about 45 degrees also up from her head, and that's going to give you a really nice highlight on her left cheekbone. We're still not going to use any light below because we want to use just this light, the DP800, as our key light. This time we're using a very, very similar setup to the first clamshell shot we did. In this instance, we're using 2 collapsible negative fill reflectors. So what they're doing is they are going to take lots and lots of light from each side of the model and cancel that out. So the only light that will be hitting the models is from the front light from either side. What that will do is it'll give it a little bit of a dark rim and make everything look a little bit sharper in the picture. Keep the negative fill quite close. So this is still set at f14 and this bottom one's still set at f5.6. Keep those negative fill reflectors quite close. You can use polyboards, or also you can use some different reflectors which I can't remember the name. There they're all packed away in the bag. They're very difficult to carry around, but I use the pop-up ones, they're quite easier. I'll put a little clip of what those are now.